The reality you perceive is not entirely authentic, rather, it's a construct manufactured by your brain, which plays a significant role in shaping your experiences. This reality is layered with nuances, and what you perceive may not always align with what truly exists. Your experiences are influenced heavily by the brain's intricate editing of memories as they unfold, all while operating in different dimensions of time. This begs the question, what is really happening in your life? And who has the reins of control? The disconnect between reality and consciousness. Vision constitutes our primary means of gathering information about the surrounding world. However, our ability to actually perceive this world is limited. The high-resolution area of your visual field is shockingly small, akin to a thumbnail, while the rest remains blurred and out of focus. This jarring contrast feels seamless due to a remarkable trick your brain employs. Each second your eyes complete 3 to 4 rapid, jerky movements known as saccades, which last about 50 milliseconds. These saccades dart from one focal point to another, allowing you to scan your surroundings and compile sharp images that your brain stitches together cohesively. During these saccades, in order to prevent the visual chaos associated with the sudden movements, your brain effectively turns off your vision momentarily, rendering you blind for approximately 2 hours each day. The resulting experience, if you were to perceive it truly as it is, would be jarring, a frantic blur of images. Instead, your brain compensates for this darkness and fills it in with its best guesses of what transpired. Yet, the editing doesn't stop there. Your perception of time is equally flawed. Consider the simple act of stirring milk into a cup of coffee. As the spoon touches the ceramic surface, light reflects off its body and reaches your eyes in merely 1.3 nanoseconds. Concurrently, the ceramic vibrates and creates an air shockwave that travels to your ears in 1.2 milliseconds. Your fingers sense the heat and send signals toward your brain, which take about 50 milliseconds to process. Instead of experiencing these stimuli as isolated moments, your brain blends them together into a cohesive experience, a fiction that feels like reality. What you perceive as the present, a neatly packaged now, is actually a selectively edited recollection of the past, with the actual conscious experience happening 0.3 to half a seconds after the events. As if that weren't complex enough, your brain is also manipulating your experience of time and space far beyond that brief lag. The decisions your brain makes regarding your responses to the world are often outside of your conscious awareness, the artifice of present experience. Now, let's dive deeper into the nature of your present. It exists in a somewhat fictitious state. Imagine yourself as a professional table tennis player. The ball zips across the table at phenomenal speeds, about 25 meters per second. At such velocity, your brain cannot afford to show you the exact position of the ball based on the sensory information available from milliseconds ago. It must predict where the ball will be by the time you process the information. When light reflects off the ball and reaches your eye, the journey from the ball to your brain takes place in nanoseconds. However, the ball has already traveled approximately 2.5 meters during that processing time. Instead of presenting you with past information, your brain estimates the ball's future position and projects a fictional version into your consciousness. This fabricated image is what you perceive. In addition to simply seeing the ball, as a player, you also need to react, swinging your paddle back in readiness. However, if you just relied on current sensory information and reacted in that instant, you would miss the ball entirely because you were too slow. Thus, before the ball has even made contact with your opponent's bat, your brain anticipates its trajectory based on the player's posture and your past experiences. This anticipation is not simply a single prediction. Your brain considers multiple scenarios. It sends prepared commands to activate the muscles required to move left, right, or jump, primed for whatever possibility might arise. In this way, for a brief moment, numerous potential ghosts of you exist within your brain, each representing a different possible response. When it comes time to act, your brain selects the most likely outcome, discarding other possibilities. The only action you ultimately experience is the execution of the winning choice, and by the time you consciously see the approaching ball and decide how to respond, your body has already made the necessary movements. The brain's predictive capabilities extend far beyond extreme activities such as table tennis and also into routine movements like walking. The complexity of movement. After the game, as you walk home, it may seem as if you are making conscious decisions regarding your path and reacting to environmental stimuli. Yet, your brain is actually operating across 3 timelines simultaneously, processing sensory feedback from the past, monitoring the present state of your body, and projecting into the future. Before your foot touches the ground, the brain has already dispatched signals to prepare for the next step and even forecasted the following 2 steps. But what happens if something unexpected occurs, like stepping on a banana peel? Fortunately, your brain has that covered too. Though we often refer to the brain as the decision maker, this representation is misleading. There isn't a singular control center coordinating every action. Various parts of your body respond to different stimuli at different rates. For instance, your spinal cord can react faster than your brain can comprehend. When you step on the peel, a gyroscope within your inner ear senses the loss of balance and relays this urgent information to your brain stem and spinal cord, essentially the authority on swift responses. Within 200 milliseconds, pre-programmed sequences activate, triggering muscle groups that brace for a fall. Your arms extend, one leg stiffens for support, and your core muscles engage, ensuring your body stabilizes before you are even aware of the disaster unfolding beneath your feet. By the time you realize you are slipping, your body has already initiated its recovery. Essentially, you operate in a state of lag, catching up to the reality that your brain consistently anticipates on behalf of yourself. The prediction mechanism of emotion and intention. We've established that your brain is continuously creating predictions about the reality around you, and it also makes split-second decisions regarding your actions, presenting an edited version of this reality. But remarkably, this predictive mechanism extends beyond external factors. It pertains to your very essence, your thoughts, feelings, and identity. Your state of being, whether it be hunger, energy levels, or emotions, represents not merely reactions to external stimuli, but rather predictions made by your brain about what physiological and psychological states you require. For example, if you usually have lunch around noon, your brain starts secreting hunger hormones as the time approaches, instigating the craving for food, a self-fulfilling prophecy of sorts. Your emotional responses, rather than being reactive, stem from preemptive calculations made by your mind. When heading to a party, your brain doesn't passively wait to gauge your emotions. Instead, it synthesizes information from previous events. This includes your familiarity with attendees, past experiences, and any situations that led you to feel anxious in similar environments. If your recollections include anxiety from prior gatherings, your brain readies your body for that feeling even before you set foot inside. This proactive mechanism can be frustrating. If your brain anticipates anxiety, it adjusts your heart rate and muscle tension accordingly. As you approach the venue, the preparations for discomfort have begun, which in turn affirms the brain's prediction and becomes a new data point for its ever-evolving baseline of emotional responsiveness. You might find yourself questioning if this scenario leaves you as a mere passenger in your own life, experiencing what your brain decrees. Fortunately, the situation is more nuanced. While your conscious self may not call the shots in myriad daily activities, that doesn't equate to relinquishing all control. Your conscious mind is not the most adept at making spontaneous choices. Rather, it excels in long-term planning and abstract reasoning. It serves as a storyteller, weaving the narrative of your life both for your own understanding and for your brain. This storytelling aspect creates an interplay between your conscious self and the predictive functions of your brain, two entities that occasionally overlap and blend. You are the one who can envision the broader picture, bringing to light connections and possibilities that your prediction-centered brain may overlook. You possess the ability to revise and redefine the narratives they conjure. Although there are times when you and your brain may conflict over what is correct, in the grand scheme of things, you maintain a degree of authority, crafting the narrative of your identity and experiences in a compelling manner. This intricate dance of consciousness results in a phenomenon so convincing that it manifests as the undeniable reality you navigate daily, filled with moments of joy over ice cream, awe in the vastness of internet wonders, and contemplation over the complexities of Pokemon types. Your existence, shaped by a blend of brain-generated predictions and conscious reflections, is a unique storytelling experience that encompasses the full spectrum of what it means to be human. Thanks for looking.